Hello, 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 YouTube family. It's the goddess with the most. It's how y'all doing tonight. So my previous podcast that I did was just addressing support. Support is real big. And I made a couple of valid points, and there's always more room to talk about more things. Always, nothing wrong with that. But that's not going to be the topic of today. So today's topic is going to be addressing the pros and the cons of being a mother and a father. And everybody's not a mother and everybody is not a father. Don't get it twisted. This is not for those that wanted to go MIA and then pop up when they want to. No. We're not talking about those. We're talking about the ones that put in the hard labor, the 72 plus hours, the ones when they're sick, you're in the hospital with them. Oh, no. This is the big one. When the school calls and you have to leave work. We're talking about those mamas and daddies. Okay, so you're not them, this is not for you. But I can give you some pointers. Those are always amazing. Alright, so let's get into it. So first of all, I'm going to switch things up. Most people always talk about mothers. Let's talk about the pros and cons of fathers. Okay. Just like anybody else, dad is important. The man plays the most amazing roles in a child's life that you can only imagine. And you can't take that from them. They only can take that from themselves. You can't take that from them, like I said, but they can take that from themselves. But a good father makes sure his kids is okay. He makes sure his family is okay. And even if the mom and dad's not together, that's fine. He still makes sure his kids is okay. He builds that foundation that needs to be built so later on his kids will be okay. But he don't desert his kids. He still makes his presence known so that they know daddy's here and you cut up, I'm fucked up. Growing up in the household, I did have mom and dad. I used to try to get over on my mom. I'm pretty sure a lot of us done that. Dad say no, mama say yes. Mama say no, daddy might say yes, but he might still say no. I dealt with that a lot growing up as a kid. I was very, very spoiled. And for those who wasn't spoiled and just, knew how to wing getting over on mom and dad, those are things that, we experienced growing up in it. As you get older, you start thinking like, dang, am I a good dad? Am I doing this correct? Am I teaching them this? Is this going to mess things up? Is it going to be hard? Is it going to be stressful? And to be honest, we don't have a book. Nobody has a definition of what a good or bad dad is. They show us. And what I mean by that, because I know y'all going to try to contradict, yes it is, no. What I mean by that is, you can be a good dad and not have enough and try, but you just have a hard time coping with life. You can. But you can also be a bad father and don't do nothing and can cope with life, can understand how to do stuff, and you just selfish and you don't care. So it makes the pros and cons of being a father stressful for the ones that want to be a father. Like, I have a couple of mutual friends. They're males. They're awesome fathers. They always want their kids, and the moms just don't want to give it to them. They feel like they're better off with them. But dads need breaks too, just like moms need breaks. Then I have friends where they're 24/7 daddies. They took the kids from the moms, and they're like, Bree, I don't know how you do it. They literally tell me, they're like, Bree, I don't know how you do it. but I do it and I get it done because my kids need it. And I respect those men because they didn't make an excuse of what they couldn't do and how they couldn't do it. They just knew that it had to be done, and they did it. They did it. You know, you might not be able to go out with your boys all the time, but, you know, those days that you are able to get away, you might just want to relax. You might want to recuperate, rejuvenate, get your body back right. Might go to the gym, might want to work out. So, you know, kids are a beautiful thing. They are. They can either break you or they can build you up. My personal opinion, and this, like I said, this is just my personal opinion. It doesn't mean nobody has to agree or disagree. If you agree, you agree. If you don't, you don't. I won't have no hard feelings. This is just basically me expressing my personal opinion. But I feel like a good dad is one that's an active dad. That's a good dad to me. A good dad doesn't let the mother struggle, knowing the mother is struggling, especially if she asks for help. Allow her that help. Don't take that from her because you both are going through transitions. You feel me? Kids can stress you out. They can. My kids, they do stress me out. There's times I want to go, literally go in the corner and I cry because I'm like, oh my God, this is just too much. And I have 3 boys, so it can be overwhelming. It can, but for some reason, you know, like I've dated guys and they just have a different type of energy when it comes to kids. Like they just burst energy, and I'm like, where y'all got this energy from? Like, why y'all got this energy? And those are the pros and the cons. You know, men are not difficult. They're not hard to understand. What it is they're unaware of the unknown of their self. So they don't like new. Most men don't like new. They don't really get too much with difference. They're stern. They're stuck in their ways, and it makes things difficult because when they get a woman that's the same way, they don't know how to handle it because it's new to them. It's weird to them, you know. So then you get that kind of woman, and then you bring the kids in with him. He can't handle it. It's just too much, you know. So we have to keep those things in mind when we're dealing with men. We put a lot on men, and it's supposed to be equality. I don't believe in a woman's supposed to be this and a man's supposed to be that. No, it's equality. If he can do it, allow him to do it. But if you see he need help, help him. It'll make things way more easier. So let's get into the pros and cons of motherhood. Motherhood is a little bit more stressful to me, my personal opinion, because I'm going through it myself. And I'm just speaking off experience. I will never speak on anything I don't have experience on. And if I don't have experience on it, I'm going to look it up and I'm going to let you know. So with that being said, most women suffer from many different disorders that they don't even know their body can suffer from. First off, when you have a child, you get postpartum depression. You know, if you don't cope through that right there is the setter for everything after that. If you do not cope through that postpartum depression and grab that junk and say, look, you will not defeat me. I'm sorry. I got this. I'm good. It will destruct you. And I'm saying that because I've been through it. You get what I'm saying? Another thing is, dealing with criticism. And let's see, men deal with criticism too. And I meant to say that as well. Women dealing with criticism, you know, of, oh, well, you should have did this, well, you should have did that, well, why you do that, well, why you sleeping with him, why you sleeping with her, all kinds of things. You know, you're not ready, you should have just thought about it. All those kind of criticisms, you know, come with that. I can give you 2 good examples. I have 2. baby fathers or whatever you want to call them, sperm donors. We're gonna call them that. I have 2 sperm donors. Okay. My oldest sperm donor, he does what he wants to when he wants to, and he uses his condition for the reason why he do the stupidity that he does. I put him on child support when I think my son, he had to be like 5 months because I realized he wasn't going to do what he needed to do. I would ask him for diapers, he would cuss me out, would get mad. I ain't got no money for no diapers, blah blah blah. All types of little stupid stuff. So I'm like, okay. And he's been like this for years. And this is the crazy thing, people don't change. Some people don't change. He's been like this for years. Okay, so recently a couple of years ago, I drove down to where he stayed at. He had my son for the school year, supposed to have my son for the school year. And I went to go take him off. He never went to go get this paper notarized. So then, guess what? It's my fault why he's on child support. And I dealt with that. And there's women, that some of these men, they put them on child support because they're not doing what they're supposed to. And I don't have no problem with that. I feel like that's the most easiest thing you can do with somebody when you know that they're not doing it, in men or woman. Yeah, put them on child support. Definitely, So, okay, I dealt with that. And then my 2 youngest kids' dad, he couldn't have me. So once again, we're dealing with bitter people, pros and cons of being parents. You're dealing with bitter people. So because I didn't want him back, now my kids have to suffer. Now my kids have to go through things. Now I have to explain to them why daddy can't do this. Now I have to explain to them why daddy is not here. Why daddy says he's going to do something and he doesn't do it. Why didn't daddy call me for my birthday, mommy? I have to deal with those things. And those things make you emotional drain. They tire you out and they put a toll on you. Same thing with fathers. There's times where I don't get no sleep. And then when I do get sleep, I'm worn out because I'm still mommy. I get off of work, I'm still mommy. Some guys get off work, they're still daddy. So the importance of working together as a team means so much, because it's not just about working as a team as parents, but working as a team for your kids so they can understand that you can coexist with someone and hate they damn guts, but you can coexist. You can coexist. It's okay to coexist with each other and do what need to be done for your kids, for their benefit, not yours, for the kids' benefit, and allow these babies to grow up to be successful. Like, why do you take from them that? Why do you take something that's so precious from them? Because you're bitter and you're mad and you're angry at the world because you can't get your things together. Why take that from these babies? And once again, I want to say this, and this is from the deepest, widest part in my heart. The men that are out here doing what y'all are doing, brother, I see you and I condone you. You get my utmost applause. These mothers out here, sis, you out here doing your thing. You're grinding. You make sure these kids go without. I applaud you, because I'm gonna tell you, the economy is hard. Getting a job and keeping it is hard. Being able to make ends meet is getting hard, and still be able to take care of your kids. And mind you, sometimes we don't get to take care of ourselves because we're so focused on these bills, we're so focused on these kids, and we lose ourselves. So guys, I applaud you guys, because it is hard. It's not like how it was back in the day when I was growing up. My mom and my dad might have struggled, but they had the opportunity to get out of the struggle. Once again, we gotta break them general curses, them general cycles, them generational cycles. Them generational cycles. We need to break them. We need to break them, because if we don't break them generation curses, it's going to be the same thing when our babies get older. It's going to be struggle. It's going to be stress. It's going to be not being able to get enough because they never had enough. Not being able to establish credit because they ain't never had credit to establish. Not being able to understand that all you need is a good credit score. You can get you a house. You can get you a car. Mommy can co-sign for you if I need to. Those are the things we're supposed to be teaching our kids. And being the pros and the cons of parenthood, baby, it's a lot that we was not put in this world to be. And can nobody tell me that they was prepared? It don't matter how prepared you feel like you is, you're not always prepared. You will never be fully prepared for parenthood. You can just go off of your mental, go off your conscience, and go off of your common sense, so you can be able to guide your kids. But you can't tell me that you got a book. They say, oh, I went off this book. Okay, eventually you're going to have to start reading that book, because that book's not going to tell you your child is going to cut up and he decide he want to buck up at you. Then what you going to do? Oh, you going to read the book? No, you going to put him in his place. That's not in the book. See, the book don't teach you how to conduct your kids with structure. That's why the mom and the dad supposed to work together, because kids need structure. Kids don't have structure. They just like all over the place. And it shows which kids have structure and which ones don't. Just because you yelling like, oh, you better da da da. That's not structure. Structure is you clean. You do what you're supposed to in school. You conduct yourself as a young man, a young lady, and we're going to do this the right way. Not no hoodlum, not out here yelling the book, not acting crazy, because kids do what they see. And that is a fact. Kids do what they see. So if daddy's out here in the club, out here in the street, guess what son gonna do? I want to be like daddy. I want to be in the street. Eventually, he's going to be a deadbeat like daddy, because guess what? He followed daddy. I want to be like mom. Mommy a stripper. I want to dance on my pole. I want to do this. That's what she want to do. Probably dance on the pole. Probably be a stripper. And then, you know what the crazy thing is? You're not going to be able to control them, because you're teaching them it's okay to act like how they want us to act. Like who's? Crazy people. That's what I'm saying. Mommy and daddy, we gotta work together, man. And even if you can't work with that person, it's fine. You ain't doing nothing wrong. I promise you. You ain't doing nothing wrong, because I guarantee you your child is better off without them than with them. This is your girl, the goddess with the mostest. I love y'all. Stay hot.